Hey YouTubers, this is Joe, and today I'm going to talk to you about the dragon fruit trellis I designed. It's a combination of a lot of different designs I've seen on the internet, and I wanted to share that with you. It's a compromise between looking nice. I'm going to look at this every day out my window, so I want it to look nice. And it's also takes into consideration being able to be moved, so it needs to be lightweight, needs to be durable. This is going to last 10 years, and it also needs to be cheap, so I don't want to use really expensive materials. Okay, so here's my design. It takes a lot of inspiration from Richard from Grafting Dragon Fruit about the top design and the wood post. I really like that from him. Where I'm differing is that once we get to the soil level, I've changed from wood to brick, because in the soil that's wet over time, the wood will just degrade and rot. And since we have 100 pounds of fruit up here, that's going to act like a moment arm and want to fall over if there's nothing sturdy down here. So I'm afraid that wood will rot and crack. So I've switched to brick. And also I've seen people put a PVC like a vinyl post cover over this. And I think that that's also going to retain moisture on the wood, so I would advise against doing that. So I'm keeping this open and not covering it with any PVC vinyl. I've also seen a design where they use just an empty vinyl post cover there, and I have a lot of PVC adapters on top. There's a guy, Tung Pham, who seems to be the PVC master and has a lot of versatility there. I took some inspiration from him on using PVC pipe down here to keep the base steady. But I like the look of wood versus PVC, so I'm kind of staying away from as much PVC as possible that's visible above the soil line. Then from Paul and Scott from Rare Dragon Fruit, they embed a concrete post into the ground a few feet, and then have the concrete post come up, and they basically mold in some holes to attach the top trellis that the dragon fruit branches can hang over. And I really like that for durability, but I need this to be able to move. I need to move this around the yard, so I can't do concrete in the ground. But I do have pretty much concrete here that's below the soil line, so that's going to give me that durability that I like. And then finally, I've seen a lot of people using things other than wood here, like bicycle tires or metal rebar, and the problem with those is it doesn't look as clean as this. It looks like it's something I repurposed from my yard, which I'd rather look a little more clean, like I said. And also I've noticed that when people use metal on top here, they have to inevitably cover that with a bike tire or some foam so that the metal doesn't get too hot and burn the dragon fruit leaves or the stems. So might as well stick with wood, so you don't have to use metal and then end up spending more money covering it. So that's kind of the design choices I've made here. And shout out to all the people who have pioneered the trellises so far, and I hope this helps add some more variety to the trellis design. And now I'm going to get into how much all this cost, so you can get an idea of, if you are trying to build this, what you're getting yourself into. So I've got my 25-gallon bucket here from the local hydroponics store. I've got a 4x4 beam and some 2x3s for the top, and some burlap here to put around the post when it's growing, so the plant can grab onto something more soft. Got these small bricks at Home Depot. They're like undersized bricks. These screws. We've also got some Simpson strong ties, which is 4-inch post to 4-inch post, and also some Simpson strong ties, which are just like an end cap for 4x4-inch post. PVC tees for 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and I've got a stick of PVC pipe here. You also need some PVC pipe cement like this, just some 1 1/4 inch wood screws. I'm using these 3-inch kind of deck screws, wood to wood screws. Okay, now that we've gone through the cost of all the materials, I'm going to show you how I built it, step-by-step instructions. So here we go. I'm going to take 2 bricks, and there's like a flat side and kind of a curved side. So I'm going to put the 2 flat sides together, rub them around a bit, get out any little burrs that would be in there to make it harder to put together. Then I'm going to take this bracket and stick it on this side. Okay, kind of a tight fit. Okay, got a little mallet. Let's see if this helps. Not really. Let's try though. Clamp it together. There. Yeah, this comes with a concrete drill bit or a masonry drill bit, and I'm using just a regular drill, not an impact wrench for this one. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, and I'm not going to go all the way through, so the size I got are shorter, so they shouldn't go all the way in. I don't want to go all the way through the brick. So this is the shortest ones they had, so I'm going to drill about that deep. Hopefully it doesn't crack the brick. That's what I'm a little afraid of. Okay, looks like we've drilled down almost enough. Okay, I got some water to just cool off this drill bit. I don't want it to get too hot, or it's not going to drill as well. It'll kind of wear out a little quicker. Yeah, that's nice and cool. Let's do drill hole number 2. Okay, so I got my impact drill. Here we go, impact. So we can just use this and this. Goes right in. Okay, let's put this in there. Nice. Okay, seems like it worked. A little bit wobbly here. I'm gonna put the other 2 on top, and so I'll prepare those and then try to get those on top. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like these 2 bricks are harder to fit in on this side of the bracket than on this side. This side's tighter, so when I put these in, it spreads the bracket out too much. So what I've been doing now is I bent it open, and now I'm bending it back with this with these pliers. It's getting pretty DIY here, but we'll see if this works. So I'm gonna try to bring these in a little bit. Okay, that's pretty close. I like that. And this side, close enough. The screw will bring it right in. So now I'm gonna mark my brick spots, mark my brick holes. Okay, now I'll drill those. Yeah, I drilled the holes. You can see drill 1, drill hole 2 right there. Okay. I'm gonna go slow. Try it slow. Okay, worked. That. Okay, and I put it on the slow setting there so it wouldn't slide in too fast. All right, so you've got something, seems pretty sturdy. A little bit wonky on top. I can move these around, make it straighter. Okay, actually next what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this bracket on top here. That means I need to mark my holes, then drill in this way. Okay, we got our 2 holes drilled in the top there. And we're looking pretty good. Okay, pretty wacky, but a little heavy. And it's not moving around. I only needed 2. I was gonna put 4 in, but I think 2 is good enough. All right, so this is the second part of the trellis we're making. We're gonna make something to go around the bottom here, and then also one in the middle to give us something that will kind of clamp onto this and be able to reach out to the edge of the pot so this can't wobble around in the middle. And this is the, the part I'm the least confident about that it'll work. So I'm open to, hearing how other people would do this using, brick as the base. I don't want to drill into this anymore. I don't want to glue anything to the side of this. Yeah, so we'll see how this works. All right. I'm going to take these T's like this and put PVC pipe in the middle. All right, so I've got 2 halves made, and I made it in 2 separate parts because you kind of need to clamp them together at the same time. If you try to do 3/4 of it, you wouldn't be able to get the last piece in. Okay, we've got it all glued up. Put it in here, and I'll put some pieces that go from here to the side. I did a 6 1/4 inch size piece here and seated it all the way back into the stop of the T, and that gives me a pretty close to the edges. You can see if I wiggle this around, it can kind of move around a little bit in the bottom. So that's pretty good. And now I'm going to make another one that will sit right here. These lengths will be a little bit different because we have a tiny bit of a taper from the bottom to the top. Okay, I finished up the top one and I cut these at a 7-inch length. And now you can see if I move this around, like it's locked in there. It's a little bit wobbly. Okay, so I tried tying this to this through this hole with this wire, but it did not work. It wasn't a good idea. I noticed that if I really crank on this, I can tilt it, one way or the other. I don't want, when the trellis is full of fruit, for this to be able to tilt one way or the other. So I'm just going to jam some rocks in here so that it can't move. All right, so I put a rock down in there into that hole, and then on this side I put a rock in there. So now it can't swivel around that screw anymore. So before I was able to move it, this way and this way, we're kind of rocking it back and forth. But now you can see I'm moving it around. I'm getting no play. I also moved this, kind of jammed it down until it was tight around this. So now, yeah, I don't get any movement, and my contact is, well, I guess I got no contact there, but I got contact here, and contact here. So that, oh yeah, I guess I can tilt the whole thing a little bit. But I got pretty good contact everywhere, and I'm happy with that. So next I'm going to build, cut the 4x4 to length with my circular saw, and I'll also cut the 2x3s into 18-inch lengths to build the top of the trellis. Okay. All right, I cut all my 2x3s into 18-inch lengths. So I'm making 3 of these dragon fruit trellises. So I've got 15 pieces total. And next I'm gonna cut this 4x4 post to about 33 inches. I want it to be about 4 feet high, and we've got 15 inches from here to the bottom with a sawzall. Okay, I cut my 4x4 about 33 inches. That's gonna give me about this high, so I can still see over the top and prune things as needed. Now I'm gonna screw the wood into these 3 holes here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're pretty straight there, coming up the top. Got the 3 screws in on each side. Looks a little bit wibbly wobbly in there, but it's straight out the top. And if I move this around, you get a little bit of wobble, but I think the dirt will help even that out. Okay, now I'm gonna make the top. So we're gonna put maybe 2 screws here, 2 screws there, 2 and 2. Then we're gonna screw this one kind of in the middle, and we're gonna put some screws in the middle of this and put it on the top of that. And so a lot of people on YouTube are doing that. I like that idea because it's wood, pretty simple. So to screw these in, I'm using these 3-inch kind of deck screws, wood to wood screws. And this is definitely overkill. You can see it goes pretty far in. You really probably only need to go, you know, maybe half of the length in over here, maybe a little further. So you can get away with probably 2 1/4 or 2.5 inch. So because these are so big, I'm gonna drill a pilot hole, and the pilot hole size, if you take a look at these drill bits, you overlay the screw behind it, you want to be able to see just the threads coming out. So this looks like a pretty good drill size. I might do this one. Yeah, I'll probably do this size so I can get the main hole drill, but the threads will still grab it to the wood. So I'm going to use a 9/64 pre-drill for that. All right, we made the top of the trellis. Yeah, I'm going to put some screws in the middle here to attach it right on top of this bad boy, like so. So I'm going to put some of the long screws in here, probably will pre-drill as well. All right, so we just added the top here, nice and sturdy. I would suggest using longer screws for this top part because you want a lot of screw going in here. So I did use the 3-inch for here. I would recommend that. So yeah, so this is what we've got. Let's see, it's a little bit wobbly. It's taking care of it down there. So hopefully the dirt will even that out a little bit or make it more stable. So thanks to all the YouTubers for the trellis inspiration, good ideas. And I know there are lots of other good ideas out there that may have trickled down. So thank you for that. And I hope that this trellis works out.